Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is day number 2 of my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I just got back from the theaters after seeing Pearl. Pearl is a 2022 film that is a prequel to X. So that means it was co-written and directed by Ty West, the same director. And it also stars Mia Goth, who was in X. Now she's playing this character, Pearl, who, wow. Wow. I want to be careful with how much I get into and how much I talk about this film. Let's just put it this way. Pearl has some issues. Pearl, she's desperately wanting to become a star, an actress, or just somebody on stage, somebody to be put in the movies, but man, it's her life in some sort of way, and she is angry. She is frustrated that things aren't going her way, and she just snaps. And this whole movie is sort of watching this girl slowly, well, not so slowly, because I reckon she's had these issues even before the movie started, but we're seeing her go further and further into the madness. And I really enjoyed this film. I did. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed this film, even though I really enjoyed X. I did. X was just such a throwback to classic horror, and it did so many things right. But this movie is so different. I remember in the after credit scene, they showed a trailer for Pearl, and because there's only like a 6-month difference or so, maybe even less, since between these movies. And I remember seeing that trailer and thinking, okay, this certainly visually looks different, but it's probably just going to be another fun slasher movie, a bunch of people getting killed, and we'll move on. But seeing the movie and seeing how different it was, seeing how much Ty West clearly wanted to show his range as a director, like, no, I'm not going to make the same movie again. I'm going to make this one different. I'm going to have a whole new flair, a whole new style, a whole new just look. The beginning of this movie, when you see Pearl on the farm and you see the bright colors and it feels like I'm watching, I don't know, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or Mary Poppins, or it's so bright and the grass is so green and the sky is so blue and the red farm, like it's so in your face. And I guess in comparison to X, that was more dark and dreary looking. So I was impressed with that, the look alone. But then even the tone, Mia Goth playing Pearl at first, seeming like an innocent girl who just has this dream, who just has these goals in life, who just wants to be somebody. And you feel for her, you like, man, I get it. I get why she wants this. I get why she hates the farm life. She's kind of being driven crazy by her mother, especially. Her mother, played by Tandy Wright. And at first you think, okay, the mother is stifling her. The mother is suffocating her. The mother might be the reason why shit goes wrong. But the more you see Pearl, the more you realize that no, Pearl has some issues. And I should mention Mia Goth because she was in X, like I said, and she was very good as that character in X, just as far as being, the character that she had to portray in the 70s, and she was likable, or she was different enough to where I bought her. But in this movie, she's so different and she goes through so many emotions. There are 2 scenes specifically where she has either a meltdown or it's just her monologuing, and it's just her facials, her emotional, like you could see in her eyes and the tears and the snot and just everything coming out, pouring out of her. I'm like, holy fuck, Mia Goth is somebody to watch. She also executive produced this film and co-wrote this movie with Ty West. So Mia Goth, great actress, and she showed me so much range with this movie for sure, but she's also impressing me behind the scenes because she clearly had a lot of say with how this movie should be presented. I love that this movie in some places was more of a slow build. And when I say slow build, Usually that would mean I'm bored, but no, I wasn't bored because it was more of it was a character study on her. You know, it was more of just watching her and to see her devolve. There's not as many kills compared to X, you know? Like, this movie isn't as much about the blood and gore. This movie isn't as much about, hey, what's the body count? You know what I mean? No, it's just watching how she interacts with people, watching how she internalizes it, watching her just snap at any given moment. Some of the other actors, I mentioned her mother. Her father is played by Matthew Sunderland, who, the whole movie, he doesn't speak because he's in a wheelchair. He has this condition and he can't do anything physically. But there are scenes where either the mother and Pearl are arguing or something's going on around him, and just his eyes, like, he looks terrified, or he looks like he just wants to get the fuck out of there, but he can't. He was great. There's another character named Howard that Pearl meets named David Cornsweet. And I want to mention him because that's a character that could have been written, could have been presented and acted in a way where he was sleazy or he was taking advantage of Pearl, but I never got that vibe from him. He seemed like a decent enough dude. And Pearl has a sister-in-law, Mitzi, played by Emma Jenkins. I've never seen her before, but I thought she was great as well. The few scenes that she had, I was almost like, I want more of that character. I couldn't get over, though, how much I enjoyed this film. I couldn't believe how much I think horror is doing so well in 2022. I mean, let's keep this up. You know, I don't want this year to end and then next year we're back to shit horror movies. We're back to horror movies that don't care about character development, don't care about story, don't care about writing, don't care about just cinematography and putting some production into the film. I'm sure this budget wasn't high because it's A24, but they made the most out of it and they made it work and they made it very cool. I think as far as watching X beforehand, I would suggest it, but you don't need to watch X beforehand. You could watch this and then watch X, or if you watch X first, which is how it came out, either way, I think you'll enjoy it just the same way. There is a third film supposedly coming named Maxine with 3 X's. And so especially this same team, I cannot wait to see what they do next. I cannot wait to see what they do going forward. If they want to keep going with movies connected in this world, I would be all down and for that. So I'm going to give Pearl a full price. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Pearl. What did you think of it? Did you like it as well? Do you think it's better than X? Or is it different enough from X that you're just like, who cares? It's all good. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later. These silent screams became a part of me. I'm moving past that. Please won't you free my soul? Can't hardly breathe in this society. I'm just a madman. Leave misery.